Pickles are supposed to be harmless, maybe even healthy if you're desperate enough to believe vinegar can cancel out late-night fast food. But here's the tangy truth. In 2021, a Consumer Reports investigation found that several major pickle brands contained potentially harmful levels of sodium and artificial preservatives, with some packing more than 200 milligrams of sodium per serving. That's half your daily limit, just from what's allegedly a sandwich sidekick. It's like seasoning your organs with regret. Welcome to the Dillusion. Today, we're unmasking the 10 most popular pickle brands, ranked from worst to least toxic, and a rare few that won't turn your kidneys into salt bricks. Let's crack open the jar. Things are about to get disturbingly crunchy. Number 10. Vlasic. Ah yes, the Stork-branded classic that's been haunting grocery shelves since the Cold War. With branding straight out of a 1950s cartoon asylum, Vlasic bills itself as America's favorite pickle, which is fitting because it captures America's favorite pastime, ignoring ingredient labels. Each spear is a salty torpedo loaded with over 300 milligrams of sodium, potassium sorbate, and yellow 5, aka the dye that screams radiation chic. According to a 2018 study in Food Additives and Contaminants, long-term potassium sorbate exposure in animals triggered oxidative stress and liver changes. So go ahead, crunch your way to a neon-colored future. It's like eating toxic nostalgia dipped in brine. Ready for things to get worse? Oh, they do. Number 9. Best Made. The brand that sounds like it belongs in a 1950s detergent commercial, and tastes like one too. Best Made pickles are basically cucumbers suspended in a saltwater horror show, where each spear contains a staggering 390 milligrams of sodium. That's not a snack, that's a cardiovascular assault strategy. Their hot pickles boast more red dye than a crime scene and pack polysorbate 80. An emulsifier so sketchy it's been linked to gut inflammation and metabolic dysfunction in animal studies. But hey, nothing ruins your microbiome like something claiming to be family-owned since 1926. It's like swallowing a science fair project sponsored by Big Sodium. Next up, things get suspiciously sweet. Number 8. Sweet baby gherkins. Don't let the name fool you. These innocent-sounding mini cucumbers are pure sugar bombs in a jar. 1 tablespoon of juice from these pickles can clock over 7 grams of added sugar, which is more than some donut glazes. That's not preservation. That's embalming your internal organs in syrup. And let's not forget the charming touch of sodium benzoate, which under certain conditions can form benzene, a known carcinogen. Nothing says artisanal like chemical byproducts and type 2 diabetes. Eating these is like biting into a gummy bear that went to culinary school in Chernobyl. Still think pickles are your crunchy little allies? Number 7. Heinz Genuine Whole Original Pickles. Yes, Heinz, the ketchup giant that decided pickles were just tomatoes' lumpy green cousins. These bad boys come marinated in calcium chloride and polysorbate 80, all the while soaking in a sodium swamp of 350 milligrams per serving. But the real kicker? Heinz faced criticism back in 2019 when tests revealed inconsistencies in sodium and preservative disclosures across several batches, meaning what's on the label might just be wishful thinking. It's like spinning a roulette wheel with your blood pressure. Just because you trust them with your fries doesn't mean they deserve custody of your gut. Number 6. Claussen. The self-proclaimed fresh crunch pickle that lives in the refrigerated section like it's better than everyone else. And sure, they skip heat pasteurization, but what they don't mention is that your taste buds are diving headfirst into a chlorine bath. Claussen's ingredient list includes calcium chloride, sodium benzoate, and polysorbate 80. Because nothing says refrigerated freshness like a periodic table masquerading as a snack. And the sodium? 380 milligrams per spear. That's right, one cucumber corpse away from your daily limit. Eating Clausen is like licking a chemistry lab inside a walk-in fridge. Still chilled about your choices? Number 5. Mist olive. The pickle that sounds like a peaceful hiking destination, but delivers all the serenity of a salt mine explosion. Mint olive is the silent saboteur of snack time, pushing over 390 milligrams of sodium per spear and loading up on sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, and polysorbate 80 for that unmistakably synthetic tang. It's the kind of ingredient lineup you'd expect from industrial lubricant, not something sitting next to your sandwich. And while the brand likes to parade around terms like crisp, what you're really biting into is a brined science experiment with branding from 1926. Think of it as vintage toxicity. Great for nostalgia, not for kidneys. Hope you like your crunch with a side of cellular inflammation. Number 4. Grillo's Pickles. The brand that shows up to the health food party wearing gym clothes but hiding a flask of antifreeze in its pocket. Grillo's markets itself as the minimalist messiah of pickles. No artificial preservatives, no dye, supposedly just cucumbers, garlic, and glory. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find that their brine can still hit you with over 330 milligrams of sodium per serving. Add in the fact that their refrigerated freshness relies on high vinegar acidity, which may erode tooth enamel like your dental plan was sponsored by Chaos. In 2020, complaints surfaced about bloated lids and inconsistent fermentation, exposé, science experiments in your fridge. It's like barnyard chic meets gastrointestinal roulette. Trust it if you want, but don't say we didn't vinegar warning you. Number 3. B&G Kosher Dill. If preservatives had a mascot, B&G would be its aggressively brined cheerleader. Not content with just sodium, though it punches in at a savory 370 milligrams per spear, this brand doubles down with sodium benzoate, calcium chloride, and artificial colorants like yellow number 5 and blue number 1. It's like Mardi Gras in your mouth, except the beads are gastrointestinal regret. In 2017, the brand was caught up in a customer backlash when multiple consumers reported finding foreign objects in jars, from mushy gray matter to unidentified stringy entities. Nothing says authentic flavor like existential dread in a glass container. Ever bitten into anxiety? B&G is selling it wholesale. Number 2. Wickles. The name sounds whimsical, like something a quirky aunt knits between PTA meetings, but inside the jar is a chaotic cocktail of corporate alchemy. Wickles boasts wickedly delicious pickles, and oh, they're wicked all right. Each serving comes blessed with 360 milligrams of sodium, snuggled up with artificial flavorings, and enough sugar to make your dentist start a GoFundMe on your behalf. Flashy branding and small-batch aesthetics can't hide the fact that these pickles are a poster child for sugar-salt synergy that sabotages your gut lining while smiling sweetly from your charcuterie board. Eating Wickles is like inviting a manicured arsonist into your microbiome. Buckle up. For the number 1 worst offender, we're headed straight to the belly of the briny beast. Number 1. Famous Dave's Signature Spicy Pickles, the apex predator of pickle perfidy. These fire-brined villains deliver 400 milligrams of sodium per serving, saturated with high-fructose corn syrup, polysorbate 80, and artificial flavors so vague they might as well say witchcraft. It's barbecue branding gone rogue. Infamously, in 2016, customer complaints surfaced about cloudy jars and strange sediment, because apparently, bold flavor now includes mystery sludge. And the spice? Less zesty kick, and more tongue taser powered by regret. Eating Famous Dave's is like attending a backyard barbecue hosted by Frankenstein's food scientists. And now that you've seen the worst, want to know which pickles won't pickle your insides? Stick around for the ones that might actually deserve a place in your fridge. Let's talk about the miraculous misfits. The rare pickles that won't detonate your kidneys or turn your gut into a chemical wasteland. First up, olive my pickle. Yes, terrible pun name, but these fermented pickles skip the sorbates and synthetic dyes entirely, relying on time-honored lactofermentation. That means real probiotics, actual crunch, and sodium levels that won't set off alarms at your next physical. Think of them as the mythic unicorns of the pickle universe. Only these unicorns live in brine and support gut health instead of galloping into marketing meetings with a glitter cannon. Next, meet real pickles. No joke, that's the actual brand name, as if daring the rest of the industry to admit what they are. Highly processed fiction pickles. Real Pickles thrives on organic ingredients, ditching the preservatives, dyes, and flavor trickery in favor of traditional fermentation. They go full Amish on the process, hand-packed, climate-conscious, and bursting with live cultures. The sodium? Moderate. The taste? Sharp, clean, unapologetically fermented. It's like biting into a cucumber that went to therapy, learned boundaries, and said no to chemical codependency. If your fridge had taste buds, it would thank you for the upgrade. And finally, Wild Brine, the enigmatic artisan brand that doesn't scream health so much as whisper it cryptically through a beard made of kale. Wild Brine skips the preservatives entirely, fermenting their pickles the old-fashioned way, like it's 1825, and they're brining in a cabin lit by guilt-free candlelight. With sodium levels lower than your average guilt trip and a bacteria profile that would make your kombucha jealous, Wild Brine is what happens when someone actually reads the science instead of slapping natural on a jar of lies. Eating these is like joining a gut health cult that might, for once, actually be onto something. Drop your biggest betrayal in a jar in the comments below. We're dying to hear what health food gaslit you the hardest. Or just whisper sweet nothings to your lacto-fermented savior and pretend the last 10 jarred monstrosities were all a bad sodium dream. Turns out your sandwich sidekick has been moonlighting as a biochemical prank. Your fridge isn't just keeping things cold. It's harboring edible paradoxes crusted in sodium and wrapped in nostalgia. Now, if you'll excuse us, we need to go apologize to our intestines with a fermented peace offering and a sincere probiotic hug. Drop your biggest betrayal in a jar in the comments below. We're dying to hear what health food gaslit you the hardest. Or just whisper sweet nothings to your lacto-fermented savior and pretend the last 10 jarred monstrosities were all a bad sodium dream. Or maybe just bury that last pickle jar in the backyard where it can ferment quietly alongside your trust issues. One less neon green lie in the fridge, one tiny victory for your digestive dignity. Or maybe just pawn off that last pickle jar on your most gullible relative and consider it a karmic reset. One less corporate science experiment squatting in your refrigerator, one more inch of shelf space for something that won't double as a salt lick for your organs. And with that, we slam the lid shut. The next time someone offers you a crunchy, low-calorie snack, maybe check that it's not a brined time bomb masquerading as a vegetable. Your gut deserves a pickle that isn't plotting biochemical sabotage, and your kidneys are tired of being sodium's personal punching bag. Stay sharp, stay sour, and as always, question everything that comes in a jar disguised as health. Because trust, once pickled, rarely comes unbrined. And with that, we slam the lid shut. The next time someone offers you a crunchy, low-calorie snack, maybe check that it's not a brined time bomb masquerading as a vegetable. Your gut deserves a pickle that isn't plotting biochemical sabotage, and your kidneys are tired of being sodium's personal punching bag. Stay sharp, stay sour, and as always, question everything that comes in a jar disguised as health. Because trust, once pickled, rarely comes unbrined. And there it is, the unfiltered, unhinged, sodium-soaked truth. From radioactive relish imposters to sugar-laced gut saboteurs, one thing's clear. Pickles aren't just crunchy condiments, they're edible horror stories wearing farmers market costumes. Remember, The next time you see a cheerful stork or a mason jar wrapped in vintage fonts, ask yourself, is this health or just a brined betrayal dressed for Instagram? You're not just picking a pickle, you're choosing your side in the war on wellness. Choose wisely if your kidneys have any say in it. Let's park this vinegar-fueled clown car right here. The next time you pop open a jar and think you're doing your body a favor, remember that behind every crunchy spear lurks a murky stew of sodium, sugar, and synthetics dressed as wholesomeness. Ask fewer questions of your vegetables and more of your labels. Because in the pickle game, the real crunch isn't in the bite, it's in the betrayal. So before you innocently fork another pickle onto your plate, ask yourself, are you seasoning your sandwich or drafting a resignation letter to your digestive tract? In a world where sugar hides in your salty snacks and preservatives masquerade as family recipes, the pickle jar has become ground zero for dietary deception. Remember, the next time you reach for that crunchy green thing that promises bliss, it might just be a crisp little con wrapped in cellophane cheer. Choose your brine battles wisely. So before you pop that lid and savor the crunch, take a moment to question the pickle pyramid scheme you've been silently funding. Behind every vintage label and small batch sticker might be a jar full of lab-grade additives, blood pressure ambushes, and enough sodium to turn your kidneys into artisanal jerky. Pickles, once humble and fermented wonders, have been hijacked by the processed food industrial complex, and your gut has been footing the bill. Never forget, in the health game, even cucumbers can be casualties. Keep your snacks honest, your jars skeptical, and your crunch conspiracy-free. So now you know, the pickle aisle isn't a harmless corridor. It's a heavily salted minefield of broken promises and brined betrayals. If you've been duped by marketing masquerading as wellness, you're not alone. But now you're armed with strange truths, scarier labels, and possibly a sudden craving for sauerkraut. Stay suspicious, stay fermented, and for the love of your microbiome, stop trusting anything that says crisp in Comic Sans. So as you stand in the fluorescent glow of the grocery aisle, pickle jar in hand, know this. You're not holding a healthy snack. You're cradling a jar of industrial ambition pickled in plausible deniability. That brine isn't just vinegar and water. It's a murky memory of when food was simple, and a salty reminder that sometimes nostalgia tries to poison you with a smile. Put the jar down, step away slowly, and maybe, just maybe, give fermented cabbage a chance. Because in this twisted gut health opera, the sauerkraut never lied. And that brings us to our grand, crinkled conclusion. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You now know more about pickles than most nutritionists, and definitely more than the marketing teams slapping wholesome on sodium time bombs. Let this jar-by-jar descent into brined madness be your reminder that health isn't just about what you eat, but what's been done to what you eat. So the next time you reach for that innocent green crunch, ask yourself, is it preserving your vegetables or embalming your confidence in food labels? Turns out you've been dunking your trust in a jar of sodium cosplay, dressed up as farm-fresh innocence. Beneath the gingham lids and faux handwritten fonts lies a corporate chemistry set with marketing degrees. And your gut? It's been collateral damage on their path to shelf-stable supremacy. So next time a pickle promises probiotic purity while whispering sweet nothings in Comic Sans, remember, you deserve better than a cucumber caught in a PR stunt. Question the crunch, interrogate the jar, and chew like your health depends on it, because it probably does. And that, dear Crunch Crusader, is the final bite. You've survived an industrial jungle disguised as a snack aisle, dodged sugar grenades hidden in sour disguises, and hopefully emerged just a little less trusting of anything sealed in glass and smiling. If your pickle has more ingredients than your shampoo, maybe, just maybe, it doesn't belong next to your sandwich. Question everything. especially the foods that swear they're your friends, while secretly moonlighting as salty saboteurs. And remember, in the world of health imposters, even a pickle can be a polished villain wearing a garlic-scented grin. So here's the pickle. Literally. After 2,700 words unraveling what's pickle and what's peril, the takeaway is crystal clear. The real enemy isn't some warty cucumber in a jar. It's the slick food industry puppeteering your palate with salt grenades, dye bombs, and syrup-laced lies. You've been bamboozled by branding, seduced by labels, and tranquilized by the crunch. So before you let another green spear whisper false promises while drowning in commercial brine, ask yourself, do I want a snack or a sodium-soaked ghost of my own digestive betrayal? Choose wisely, fridge survivor. This has been your probiotic intervention. That's it. Jar closed, truth spilled. You've stared down the brined abyss and come back stronger, slightly saltier, but infinitely wiser. No more swallowing folklore wrapped in cellophane or letting cartoon mascots dictate your gut flora. From this day forward, treat every label like a potential crime scene, every natural claim like a legal loophole wrapped in parsley. And if you ever need a reminder of what's hiding behind that innocent crunch, just replay this pickle-laced fever dream, and remember, not all spears fight for your health. Some are spies in a cucumber costume. So next time a jar hisses open with cheerful promise, pause and listen closer. That sound? It's not freshness. It's the muffled scream of your health instincts being ignored for the 100th time. Because while that pickle may crunch like confidence, it might just be preserving your poor decisions in acetic acid and corporate ambition. Stay paranoid, stay questioning, and don't let marketing dress your regrets in dill. And there it is, the final crunch in this sensory assault of sodium and subterfuge. You came for pickles, but what you got was a fermented front-row ticket to the absurdist theater of food marketing gone rogue. Now, armed with facts, fury, and a mildly traumatized digestive system, you can walk with confidence past the condiment aisle like a brined, battle-hardened veteran. Stay skeptical, snack responsibly, and never trust a pickle that smiles too much. So here we are, standing at the lip of the pickle jar and staring into the abyss. It stared back, of course, with artificial colorants, vague spice blends, and sodium levels that would startle a salt flat. But now you know. You've seen through the saccharine smiles of heritage recipes and the cartoonish burial mounds of preservatives dressed up as tradition. You are initiated, brined, and battle-ready. So raise your forks, dear viewer, and stab wisely. The next crunch could be your turning point, or your taste buds' tragic farewell tour. Choose savage. Choose skeptical. Choose something your intestines might actually write home about. And so, brave crunch cohort, this is where our sodium-slick tale must end. You've chewed through deception, swallowed some briny truths, and emerged with your gut instincts sharper than ever. Don't be seduced by pickle propaganda or wooed by whimsical labels wielding homemade like a weapon. You now know the difference between fermented salvation and chemically embalmed betrayal. Go forth, question the crunch, and remember, some jars belong sealed forever. Let this be your final briny revelation. The pickle isn't just a snack, it's a test, a green glass morality tale about trust, manipulation, and the lengths corporations will go to sell us lies in vinegar. So next time you crave that tangy crunch, remember, you're not opening a jar, you're unsealing a narrative. One bite from purity, one bite from perfidy. And if your snack comes with its own legal disclaimer in size 4 font, maybe skip it and reach for something that doesn't moonlight as a science experiment. Stay vigilant, stay fermented, and above all, don't let your condiments con you. Congratulations, you've made it through the sour gauntlet, dripping in betrayal, sugar, and synthetic regret. If pickles were people, most of these brands would be charming sociopaths smiling at your gut while plotting its demise. But now you've got the truth wedged between your molars, and with every future bite, you'll taste more than garlic. You'll taste awareness. So slam the jar, salute your spleen, and march away from chemical crunch into the tangy unknown of actual food. Your microbiome will thank you in mysterious, quiet ways, like fewer emergency bathroom visits. Long live the honest pickle. Long live your guts. And there you have it, crunch comrades. Our jar is officially empty, the lid twisted shut, and the truth leaking down the label like neon green remorse. You've braved the sour storm, exposed the briny betrayals, and earned your diploma in cucumbrian skepticism. So remember, the next time you stand before the pickle aisle, squint past the storks and handcrafted lies, and choose not just with your palate, but with your pancreas. Because in the end, it's not just about taste, it's about surviving the snack aisle with your dignity and digestive enzymes intact.